Hey everyone, this is Hannah with the Rocket Miner giving you today's video update. To start, I wanted to go over some of the COVID-19 numbers for Wyoming. Instead of giving you all of the total numbers today, I just wanted to give a quick update on how much the numbers have gone up recently. So for Wyoming as a whole, we have 30 new lab confirmed cases since yesterday and 6 new probable cases. Here in Sweetwater County, we have 3 new lab confirmed cases since yesterday. And when you look at all the numbers together, for the state of Wyoming, we have a total of 411 active cases in our state right now. So those numbers are still going up in pretty significant amounts each day, having roughly 30 cases each day for the last couple of days. So those are still going up. That's where we stand right now. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about and explain some of the details of a new COVID-19 tracking app that's available for people in Wyoming now. This is a free mobile app that's designed to help with COVID-19 contact tracing, and it'll be available in Wyoming. It's already been put into use in the Dakotas, and Governor Gordon just announced this yesterday, and he talked about it a little bit during his media briefing that he did, but I wanted to give a few more details that have been shared about what this app is and the purpose of it and what it entails. So this is called the Care19 Diary app, and as I said, it was is being used in the Dakotas. It was launched in North Dakota and South Dakota in April, and this app is to keep record of a person's location for potential use in contact tracing if the user then tests positive for the coronavirus. So a really simplified version of what it does, basically it just kind of logs where you've been, and then if you are to test positive with COVID-19, you can share that information with the health officials who are doing contact tracing so that they can see who you may have come into contact with. So in more detail, it was explained that once the app is downloaded, users are assigned a random ID number, and the app will create a diary of where an individual has visited throughout the day. So it sounds like you don't really put in personal information, it just tracks your locations. It says the ID number of each individual contains no personal information besides location data. So yeah, exactly that. You don't have to put in your name or address or any of those details. It just gives you a number and tracks your locations. It says individuals are then encouraged to review the diary to ensure the tracking of locations is correct, adding visits that may have been missed or deleting others that may have been suggested in error. So you'll notice sometimes on your phone, if you have the GPS turned on, you'll drive by a place and maybe go into a store that's next to another store, and it would be like, how was your visit to Walmart? It's like, well, I didn't actually go into Walmart, I was just going into Starbucks or whatever. So sometimes GPS trackers can be kind of faulty like that. So it'll record your locations that your phone gives automatically with the GPS, but then they're saying you can go back in and review the diary and edit those to make it a little bit more accurate to reflect where you actually were visiting. This says that the app only suggests locations of places a person visits for 10 minutes or more, so you have to be there for a while before it will log that as a location. And a user can clear their history at any point as well. This says if you test positive for COVID-19 in the future, you can use the phone diary to help contact tracers protect others that may have been in contact with you. Another option for a user is to consent to share the information about locations you visited with the Wyoming Department of Health to support the critical contact tracing process, but your privacy is protected. So I know these apps have been discussed over the past several months with COVID-19. I've heard a lot of different responses to them. A lot of people worried that this could be an invasion of privacy or that they don't want to be tracked. The reality is that if you have the GPS turned on your phone, which most of us do, it's tracking where you've been anyways, and a lot of us know that when we get the notifications that pop up and say, how was your visit to Walmart? The GPS is already tracking you, and that's how you can use map features and things. Of course, you can always turn that off on your phone at any point. And with an app like this, obviously, you don't have to get this. And if you don't like your phone tracking you and you have your GPS turned off, then I can understand. But for most of us, it already does track us. So the only thing that this app does is keep that log of where we've been and then if you test positive with COVID-19, then you can share it, and that just makes the job of contact tracers a little bit easier, because it's their job to see where you've been, who you've potentially been in contact with, so that they can contact those people and they can quarantine if they need to, or whatever the case may be. It's just part of this process to help stop the spread based on where you've been when you may have had the virus but not shown symptoms yet, or just not known it and started going places. This allows people to look at, okay, where have you been, who may have been in contact, so that they can inform them and just make better decisions. And contact tracing has just been a part of this process the whole time to try to limit the spread as much as possible. Governor Mark Gordon, talking about this app, said, "Here in Wyoming, the more citizens who choose to voluntarily participate, the more effective our fight against COVID-19 will be. The information this app gathers can save lives. Embracing this technology is one more way we can show that we're all in this together." So again, this is a completely voluntary thing. It's just for people who want to help as much as they can, and to, like I said, to make the job of people who do contact tracing just a little bit easier. So as you know, this weekend is obviously the 4th of July weekend, and lots of people have time off, lots of people are making plans and have lots of things that they're excited about and ways that they're going to celebrate this weekend. I just wanted to give a quick reminder to everyone to be careful and be smart as you celebrate this weekend. There are going to be fireworks displays in both Rock Springs and Green River this weekend, and both of those are scheduled to begin at 10 p.m. And in Rock Springs, there are also several other activities that are happening earlier in the evening, some family fun things that you can participate in, so you can look into that. There's a reminder that private fireworks are not allowed in city limits in either Rock Springs or Green River, and it is illegal to ignite any firecracker, skyrocket, Roman candle, sparkler, or other kinds of fireworks. Just don't do it inside the city. It's illegal, it's not safe, it's not smart. Don't do it. And if you go out of city limits to shoot off some personal fireworks, just be really careful and follow all the safety procedures that you need to with that. Sweetwater County law enforcement is also reminding everyone to stay safe this weekend, and especially to not drink and drive. They're going to have additional officers and deputies and troopers that will be on duty as part of a multi-agency impaired driving enforcement operation. So there will be some extra officers out just to make sure that people aren't drinking and driving and try to keep everyone safe. But just a reminder, don't drink and drive. Just don't do it. And then I wanted to also throw in the reminder and precaution that Governor Gordon and Dr. Harris both gave during the media briefing as well, just to keep COVID precautions in mind this weekend and be careful and safe as far as social distancing as you're celebrating things. Dr. Harris said, "It's possible to have fun while taking part in these activities safely. Stay 6 feet away from people from other households and wear a face covering. Our attention to these precautions this weekend could very well have significant impacts on the course of the outbreak and our ability to further ease restrictions." So since we're in this place where we are seeing the numbers go up quite a bit right now, and there's been a lot of discussion about that in the past few weeks coming from Memorial Day weekend and people having celebrations and doing things on Memorial Day weekend without social distancing, without taking precautions or being safe, having gatherings that were larger than they should have or more contact between people than should have happened. Lots of the numbers going up have come from cases like that. So we don't want to see the numbers spike again after this July 4th weekend in the next 2 weeks. We don't want to see these drastic increases because of the same thing, because people were celebrating and not being careful and not social distancing. So it is a valid concern, and as Dr. Harris said, that doesn't mean that you can't have fun and you can't celebrate this weekend. It just means to be careful and take some extra steps and some extra precautions as you do celebrate. And that can do a lot to help prevent the spread and help stop this increase in numbers that we've been seeing. And so to end on, I just wanted to share a quote with you every day on our Facebook page and on our Instagram stories. Not every day, every Monday. You may have seen we do a Motivational Monday post. And this week, with looking forward to the 4th of July, we shared a picture with a quote by Peter Marshall. And the quote says, "May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right." And I think that's a really good quote and a really important thing to keep in mind this weekend, especially as we see so many discussions about freedom right now and what freedom means and what do we have the freedom to do, what freedoms shouldn't be taken away from us, what things can we be told to do or not do without infringing on our freedoms. And it's part of a big conversation that's going on that is important to keep having. But I think that this quote gives a really good perspective on what we think about freedom and what freedom means. It doesn't just mean that we can do whatever we want to. If you use that reasoning, it can be taken too far to where, I can drink and drive because I have the freedom to do that. And obviously we've seen our officers are going to be out to make sure that's not happening this weekend because they're trying to keep people safe. So freedom doesn't just mean doing whatever you want to do because you can. Freedom involves personal responsibility and accountability and also protecting other people. And as the quote says, freedom should be looked at as the opportunity to do what is right. So I just want to encourage you to keep that in mind this weekend as we think about our nation and the freedoms that we enjoy here, and as we think about what freedom really means and how it impacts our lives and our decisions and our actions. And I hope everyone can just keep that in mind this weekend as you celebrate, as you are careful, and be smart while you have fun, stay safe. I hope that everyone does have a great July 4th weekend and that you are able to enjoy things safely. Thank you for listening. We'll keep bringing you daily update videos, so keep checking back in with us. Have a good night.